One of the biggest complaints I hear from entrepreneurs is they have no idea what their accountant's talking about, and no one's really tried to explain it to them, and so they just kind of go and have no idea, and then leave the conversation feeling more hopeless than they did before, because they know there's issues, but they don't really understand what the accountant's trying to say. So I want to decode all that and explain it in a way you can understand. If I don't do a good job, ask me questions. I will elaborate further. If you want to join my Discord community for entrepreneurs, I invite you to do that. It's free. You can ask me questions about finance. So you need a fractional CFO to help you with your finances, and you just want to hand it to someone else, I can also do that. Anyway, this video, we're going to talk about the income statement. So the income statement is one of the financial statements that is prepared at tax time to determine how much tax you owe. It is kind of the extent of it for some businesses, and that's a mistake. You need to be looking at your income statement on a regular basis for many reasons. And so what the income statement is essentially a statement, and it covers a period of time. It could be for the last year, it could be just by month, so it could be like for the month of September. And it'll show all the activity of sales, like revenues that you've earned, subtract your cost of your goods sold, so what it costs you to produce those goods or services, and that gives you your gross profit. And then from there, you have to subtract your other operating expenses to run your business, like any rent you have, any marketing expenses, a lot of various expenses. And then at the end of that, that's where you get your net income. Many people are focused on sales numbers, and they want to, they say, oh, I've made $1 million in sales. Well, that's great. But if it costs you $1.2 million to make that $1 million in sales, you actually weren't profitable, and you're taxed off of your net profit. So after you've had all your tax deductions or write-offs, what you have left is what you're taxed on. And after taxes, that's the amount that goes into retained earnings of the business, and that can be distributed via dividends, or owners can take that out, because that's money that is after tax the business has earned. So your income statement will tell you if you spent more money than you brought in, and when that happens, you have to either start making more money, or you need to cut expenses where you can. It's usually the non-direct costs to make your goods or services that end up needing to get cut. Perhaps you're spending marketing dollars with Meta, and Meta is shitting the bed, and you're not getting any return on those marketing dollars. I've heard a lot about that lately. Or you have so many different consultants doing so many different things, and perhaps it's overkill. You don't have to have an income statement for every single month. I do recommend at minimum quarterly compiling this statement. It does involve some adjustments so that your income statement truly represents all activities in that time. Say you have a very high insurance policy, it costs you $12,000 a year. At the beginning of the year, you pay this $12,000. If you just are on a cash basis, that $12,000 would hit in that first month of the year, say. But what really needs to happen is that $12,000 needs to get spread out over the year, $1,000 a month. That's where accountants or bookkeepers create journal entries to manually change that $12,000 to allocate it into the different buckets. And if you don't do that, your income could be overstated if you're looking at, say, the month of September, and you hadn't reallocated that insurance so that the $1,000 for September isn't there. You might think you're more profitable than you actually are. So that's why you need to smooth those expenses out. I'm getting a little long-winded here, but definitely ask me any questions you might have about the income statement. Follow if you want to learn more. Join my community for entrepreneurs. I'd love to have you. And of course, eat the rich.